Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, Master's in Counseling Psychology, longtime astrologer, psychic healer, and yogi. In this episode, I'm going to discuss the pivotal dates in early 2023 that can trigger palpable consciousness shifts, as well as the times that are good to regroup and go within. Stay tuned until the end of the episode when I give the lucky dates for each zodiac sign for the months of January, February, and March 2023. Welcome to the episode on the dates and events of energetic activation during early 2023. We need to pace ourselves here early in the year as there are many accelerating universal influences that are unfolding. Stay tuned so you can align with the divine. We emerge from 2022, catching our breath and taking time to integrate the past year. 2022 ended with the winter solstice activation on December 21st, which opened up some very powerful portals of light and then led into the Christmas holiday and New Year's. The time between December 21st and January 1st is traditionally known as the Yuletide time. It is time of endings and wrapping up loose ends of the previous year, as well as celebrating the year that has transpired. Some of us healers during this Yule time felt the vibrations were very high on the cosmic level at the winter solstice through the year's end, despite challenging winter storms, power outages, freezing temperatures, and other things happening throughout the U.S. Lots of cancellations with flight and traffic nightmares. However, we felt anchored into the light grid and were able to rise above all that. However, these challenges that came in the form of weather and other issues, such as grids going down, are precursors to 2023. We need to navigate the coming times prepared and being very flexible, especially when it comes to circumstances out of our control. So we must cultivate a neutral mind and have backup plans if our plans go astray. We are increasingly learning how to anticipate what Mother Nature or other situations throw our way. This is where listening to your own intuition or that of a trusted and proven psychic and astrologer comes in handy. I listened to my own intuition right before Christmas when I was supposed to travel Christmas Day, and I got the guidance, no, you're going to have 3 validations why you shouldn't have traveled. And by the 26th of December, I had those 3 validations of why I shouldn't have traveled. A flight cancellation and power outages and another situation in the place I was going to stay. So I thank my intuition for giving me a heads up. So we're all learning how to do this in 2023. And the way to do it is not go into fear, not go into worry or anxiety, but just find some peace and wait for the messages. And they may not come immediately. They may wake you up at 3 a.m, like it did for myself, but they will come. If you ask, it will be delivered. So as we embark on a new year in the Gregorian calendar way of timekeeping, the question we should ask ourselves is, where do we want to put our time, energy, and focus during 2023? The key for 2023 and the Lunar New Year of the Rabbit, which starts in the 3rd week of January, is flexibility. Be ready to receive what the universe throws your way and discern whether it is time to jump forward and ride the incoming waves, or if you need to step back, integrate, rest, and retreat. Early January offers opportunities to reboot, reset, and integrate before Lunar New Year arrives early this year on January 22nd, 2023. This is when things are going to speed up. Increased vibrations of light will be hitting the planet at this time after we've integrated what had come in at the end of 2022. We must use the first 3 weeks of January to integrate the late 2022 light infusion on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level before the big energetic upgrades arrive during the third week of January. Therefore, we have early January to get our ducks in order. Perhaps instead of launching new projects or plans in early January, use this time to rest after the holiday season and perhaps even take a retreat or a spiritual respite for a few days if possible. Two retrograde planets at the onset of 2023 will help us integrate and go within. Mars is still retrograde in Gemini since October 30th, 2022, and will go direct on January 12th, 2023. Mercury is retrograde in Capricorn until January 18th, 2023. Take advantage of Mars retrograde by taking care of any writing or communications you have put off, or even doing busy work like getting tax information together and other details. Mars retrograde in Gemini gives us time to look at our ongoing thought process, calm the monkey mind, and cultivate a positive mindset for 2023. Mars retrograde in Gemini, an air sign, affects the mental body. In astrology, air signs Gemini, Libra, Aquarius rule the mental body. Earth signs represent the physical plane, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Water signs are the emotional body, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And fire signs are the spiritual or creative body, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So Mars retrograde in Gemini gives us time to check our mental health and seek any interventions to help improve it. Mental health is increasingly becoming a big issue since the pandemic, and the percentage of people suffering from depression and other mental health issues is higher than ever before. It's all over the news here at the end of 2022, going into 2023. I think of the quote, "As a man thinketh, so he is," which does reflect on the importance of our thoughts. The ability to learn, think, choose, and reason is the essence of what makes us human. In metaphysical teachings, when we calm our mind, we can create a new reality. Meditation is one of the tools to help calm the mind and has proven to help mental health and provide many other benefits, including decreasing stress in your body and life, boosting health and increasing immune function. Meditation can decrease pain and decreases inflammation at the cellular level. Meditation can boost your happiness, increase positive emotion, and decrease depression and anxiety. Meditation also helps improve your ability to regulate your emotions. Meditation has been proven to change your brain and create new neural pathways that result in improvement of mental health. So in early January, do try meditation to help quiet that monkey mind and align yourself to your higher potentials. Thanks, Mars retrograde in Gemini, for providing that opportunity to get our brain rewired here in early January. Mercury is also traveling retrograde in the sign of Capricorn at the beginning of the year, which will help us with compiling and getting together financial and business paperwork from 2022 and take care of any unfinished business. We also have a full moon in early January on the 6th of January in the sign Cancer, which will enhance this theme of retreat and going within, finding comfort and peace in your environment, and not distilling the inner process by external noise. So we can see the first 3 weeks of January encourage inner process and doing the RE words with two retrograde planets. It's time to reevaluate, release, reassess, reboot, and relax. Take advantage of this time because the accelerations amp up at the end of the month when the planets shift into Aquarius and a whirlwind of new energies flows in. Here we go. Activation dates in late January 2023. On January 18th, Mercury goes direct in Capricorn. On January 20th, the Sun enters Aquarius. The next day, on January 21st, there's a new moon in Aquarius. On January 22nd, the Lunar New Year of the Rabbit kicks in. And on the same day, January 22nd, Uranus goes direct in Taurus. You can see what I mean about resting up for this accelerated time. So Mercury goes direct on the 18th of January in Capricorn, the cosmic kickoff to the acceleration activations. The sun transits into Aquarius on January 20th, the Aquarian new moon on January 21st, leading into the Lunar New Year on January 22nd, and Uranus transiting direct on the same day. This 3-day cluster of action, astrologically and energetically, will whip up the winds of change. And this is the true energetic inauguration of 2023, opening the portals, giving us renewed hope and inspiration. January 22nd is the astrological power pack day, ringing in the year of the rabbit in Chinese astrology and ushering in Uranus's forward motion in Taurus after being retrograde for 5 months since August 24th, 2022. Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius, and it decided to wait until the Aquarian new moon this year to go direct. It's a green light. Lunar New Year, which occurs at the new moon in Aquarius annually, is the best time to celebrate the new year, especially where we started 2023 with 2 retrograde planets. So set your intentions, do your fire ceremonies and group activities and activations on January 22nd, 2023 to celebrate Lunar New Year. The year of the rabbit goes from January 22nd, 2023 until February 9th, 2024. Go listen to my podcast on the astrology of January 2023 to find out more about the Lunar New Year. But according to Chinese astrology, the rabbit symbolizes patience and luck. So we should be all getting some better luck this year than in previous years. The year of the rabbit will bring what we lacked in 2022. Peace and success. So get excited about this energetic activation. Things accelerate when Uranus goes direct on January 22nd in Taurus. Uranus is a planetary archetype of change and awakening. He's called the Great Awakener and likes to strike like lightning. You are changed forever after that Uranian hit. The sleeping giant of collective revolutionary awareness has been simmering behind the scenes. Uranus' keynote is anything for freedom. Uranus strikes like lightning, shocking and waking people up to take back their innate rights and sovereignty. Uranus can also stir up climactic and weather phenomena that makes people needing to act suddenly or brings a level of shock waves in such as earthquakes. So at the end of January, anything goes. We have to get ready to take the driver's seat and roll with this Aquarian wave of energy that's hitting the planet. So that is integrated during the last days of January, as there are no major astrological aspects. So we ride the Aquarian wave, which comes in like a tsunami, and we get to integrate it in February. February is more of a calm month between the energy sandwich of January with those late astrological activations. And then in March, we have another very busy, energetic time as we come into the Aries equinox. So it's that later Aquarian and Piscean time that we're going to go within and reconnect after hit by the waves of change. Then we get to February 2023. There's 4 big dates of energetic activation in February, although February is much calmer than January and the inundating Aquarian waves. The first big event that can activate people is the full moon in Leo on February 5th. Mercury shifts into Aquarius from February 11th through March 12th. On February 18th, the sun enters Pisces. And on February 20th, we have a Pisces new moon and Venus enters Aries. So those 4 triggering dates in February are the 5th, the 11th, the 18th, and the 20th. February is a much quieter month after the changeable energies in January and the Aquarian blast during the last 11 days of the month. February seeps in on an Aquarius wave of lightning and a watery moon in Cancer for February 1st through the 3rd. It's okay if you're feeling emotional. You've got to feel it to heal it. The emotional waves start getting bigger on February 4th as we flow into the full moon of February 5th with the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Leo. The snow moon arrives at 1:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and our creative urges are enhanced by this Leo full moon. This is a date to tune in to your creativity. In astrology, Leo symbolizes the gift and the 5th house. That gift can be our creativity or a skill or talent we are born with, and children, be they of body, mind, or spirit. And Leo is a fire sign, so we may get lit up around that full moon. Full moons tend to stir up the emotional body as well. So if Leo is the gift, Aquarius is how we offer that gift to the world. That means our friends, groups, associations. At this February full moon, you may be realizing you have skills and gifts you haven't brought out fully, and that there's things you need to share and offer up to the world in a more coherent way. So early February, we're still riding the Aquarian wave, figuring out what is our gift and how we want to bring it into the world, and also letting our brain get lit up by the higher mind of Aquarian energies. We'll be happy when the sun slides into Pisces on February 18th and things calm down. We may want to retreat within. Pisces new moon arrives 2 days later on February 20th, and the desire to get away from it all is strong. Use this time to receive healing from water, whether it be a sunny Hawaiian or Caribbean beach, or a hot tub at a ski resort, or behind your house, or even just soaking in a luxurious bath. Luckily, this Pisces equinox and new moon coincides with school vacation week for many. The Pisces new moon on February 20th is a good time to connect with heart and soul and set your soul intentions for the coming year. Perhaps making a promise to self to meditate more, or take time each day to forge a spiritual bond with our divine self and our source. Having a spiritual practice, especially at the beginning of each day, sets the tone for the whole day and makes us feel more centered. As we get into the accelerations of March, you'll be happy that you used this late February to anchor, ground, and feel yourself connected to source. The Pisces new moon occurs with 4 planets in the sign of the fish, with Sun, Moon, Neptune, and Venus all traveling through this surreal and spiritual sign. If one is tuned to the higher dimensions of light, they will notice spiritual signs and synchronicities everywhere. The sun and moon are in the 1st degree of Pisces, as Neptune and Venus bathe in the late degrees of Pisces. Venus swims out of peaceful Pisces 15 minutes after the new moon into Ansi Aries. Venus transits Aries from February 20th through March 16th, transforming from spiritual goddess into martial warrior, hunting for love, and setting the stage for the Aries ingress of planets in March 2023. New beginnings are afoot. So get ready. Here come the activation dates of March, and there are quite a few. Hold on to your hat. This is the month of major changes and shifts. It's what I call the big game changer. So let's look at these important dates in March 2023. On March 2nd, Mercury transits into Pisces until March 19th. March 7th is the Virgo full moon. On March 7th, Saturn transits into Pisces until May 14th, 2025. On March 19th, Mercury transits into Aries until April 3rd. March 20th is the vernal equinox here in the northern hemisphere. Spring arrives as the sun enters Aries. On March 21st, there's a new moon in Aries. On March 23rd, Pluto transits into Aquarius until June 11th, 2023, and then back in January 2024 for 14 years. And on March 25th, Mars transits Cancer, finally leaving that extended stay in Gemini. And Mars goes fast through Cancer until May 20th, 2023. So let me reiterate these dates that are important energetic upgrades in 2023. March 2nd, March 7th, March 19th, March 20th, March 21st, March 23rd, and March 25th. Pretty much every week, there's going to be something amping up our energy. So Mars is the month we have been waiting for. It's the big game changer. Not only is there lots of astro activity, but we have two outer planets changing signs. Saturn transits into Pisces for the first time since 1994 through 1996, and Pluto enters Aquarius for the first time since 1778 through 1798. These outer planet shifts are paradigm shifts. I'm doing a podcast on each separately on Cosmic Scene to explain the powerful significance of these two outer planet transits and how they will affect us personally and collectively. That's Saturn transiting into Pisces in March and Pluto going into the sign Aquarius, both the last two signs of the zodiac. So we'll be wrapping up some business. The first energetic upgrade in March occurs the full moon on March 7th with the sun in Pisces and moon in Virgo. This is traditionally a time of looking at both the spiritual body signified by Pisces and physical body signified by Virgo and bringing them into alignment. Needless to say, it is a good time to seek out healers, whether for your energetic body or doctors for the physical body. Book your medical and health appointments for 2023 now if you haven't already. This full moon in the sign Virgo may reveal information that had been hidden or distorted. Virgo rules issues around health and service. So it's always a good time to take care of things you have neglected around health, routines, diet, work, and organizing your life in a way that will allow it to be on remote control. You will be happy you do this so that when these energies start moving us forward fast and furiously the second half of March, you will be able to follow bigger pursuits like your spiritual awakening and soul evolution. The same day on March 7th, Saturn changes signs into Pisces for a 2-year sojourn until May 14th, 2025. And then it will go into Aries and step back into Pisces till January 2026. This is a cultural change. Saturn is the planet of form, and Pisces is the spiritual sign of the formless. Pisces rules the 12th house in astrology, the house of karma and undoing, and the nebulous. Karma will come home to roost. So from 2023 until February 2026, Saturn will make order from the ethers of technology, culture, pharmacology, spirituality, and it will be a change of inner and outer scenery. The 12th house also indicates the end of life. I predict the people, especially the baby boomers who will be aging out and dying, will want to choose their end of life care, including help from cannabis and psychedelic mushrooms to ease pain and reach higher states of consciousness before death. In fact, everybody is going to be on the consciousness train, trying to get to that luminous, numinous realm beyond the physical. And some may take cannabis or ayahuasca or psychedelics, and some may just drink a lot, and some may do more dangerous drugs that can be addicting. So we're going to see a lot of public awareness around substance abuse of all type during Saturn transiting Pisces. Pisces is a water sign, so there'll be more focus on water, including the lack of water, such as increasing droughts, and also focus on water purification. Cleaning up our water supply will be a big topic, as will cleaning up the oceans to make it pure for the ocean life. There may be new technologies coming out that will help with water production and purification. In the weather department, there may be more water phenomena such as flooding, inundations, torrential downpours, tsunamis. So we can look back and see what happened during Saturn's last tour in Pisces from January 1994 to April 96. And before that, from March 1964 through March 1967. People born during those years will be having their Saturn return. More on that in the Saturn podcast. So we have that Saturn into Pisces in early March. And then we have the Aries accelerations begin at the spring equinox on March 20th in the Northern Hemisphere. While the Southern Hemisphere, it's the autumnal equinox. So we are ready to blast off into the astrological new year on March 20th. Now, remember, there's 3 opportunities to celebrate the new year. There's the Gregorian calendar on January 1st, start to a new year. There's the Lunar New Year that can happen anytime between when the sun is transiting Aquarius, which is usually from about the 21st of January through the 18th of February. So that occurs, it's a lunar festival, so it is the new moon in Aquarius, and it can be any time during late January and early February. And then we have the astrological new year that is on the vernal equinox that can be on March 20th, 21st, 22nd. So we have the March 20th equinox and the Aries new moon on the 21st. The drive and fire initiated at the March 20th equinox gets ignited more and becomes a wildfire at the Aries new moon on March 21st. The March 21st is the new cycle. We all get a reset. And if you want to reboot your intentions from the Lunar New Year of January 22nd, do it. But Aries requires we move, take action, exercise, dance, shake, become a mover and shaker, do something new and different. You've been waiting to do those launches. This is the time to do it. And this opens the gateway for the big paradigm Pluto purging, with Pluto shifting into Aquarius on the 23rd of March. While Pluto is in Aquarius, we'll take our social structures and politics especially seriously, and we may see major reform in these areas. Unusual, intense, or dramatic happenings are possible with friends and networks and technology. It's going to be a very transformative time. During this long-term cycle, we are likely to confront issues of control and power related to individuality, equality, friendships, associations, the greater whole. We can take advantage of Aquarian ideals such as progressiveness, humanitarian, individuality, science, innovation, inventions, and that spark of genius, all Aquarian initiatives. So there will be a lot of new things coming in. Out with the old and in with the new when Pluto, the purging planet, ruler of death, transformation, and rebirth, blasts off into the spatial realms of Aquarius. We are on the verge of an evolutionary shift for individuals and humanity. Pluto dips his toe into the revolutionary realms of Aquarius from March 23rd through June 11th, 2023. And then we'll come back and get down to the business of reformation of the world in 2024 for 14 more years. Get ready. Aquarius cares more for the group than the individual. It's like the old saying, we all rise together. There'll be more focus on global economics, global politics, global food supply. Remember, we are all in it together. So with Saturn in Pisces and Pluto transiting Aquarius, the "We Are One" motto will be amplified. And those coming from self-absorption or ego will have a hard time as these outer planets chip away at the ego. Get ready for a wild ride. Stay tuned. When I come back, I'll give the lucky days for each zodiac sign in January, February, and March 2023. Welcome back. I'm going to share the lucky days for each zodiac sign for each month, January, February, March 2023. So I'll start with January. So these are the lucky days for each sign in January 2023. I'll start with the birthday kids as we enter January. Capricorn, your lucky days are January 2nd, 3rd, 29th, and 30th. Aquarius, your lucky days are January 4th, 5th, and 31st. Pisces, your lucky days are January 6th and 7th. Aries, your lucky days are January 8th and 9th. Taurus, your lucky days are January 10th, 11th, and 12th. Gemini, your lucky days are January 13th and 14th. Cancer, your lucky days are January 15th, 16th, and 17th. Leo, your lucky days are January 18th and 19th. Virgo, your lucky days are January 20th, 21st, 22nd. Libra, your lucky days are January 23rd and 24th. Scorpio, your lucky days are January 25th and 26th. And Sagittarius, your lucky days are New Year's Day, January 1st, January 27th, and 28th. Write those down and get ready to write down your lucky days for February 2023. Starting with the birthday kids in February, Aquarius, your lucky days are February 1st and 28th. You start off the month with a blast and tie it all up at the end of the month. Pisces, your lucky days in February are the 2nd and 3rd. Aries, February 4th, 5th, and 6th. Taurus, February 7th and 8th. Gemini, your lucky days are February 9th, 10th, and 11th. Cancer, your lucky days are February 12th and 13th. Leo, your lucky days are February 14th, 15th, and 16th. Virgo, your lucky days are February 17th and 18th. Libra, your lucky days are February 19th and 20th. Scorpio, your lucky days are February 21st and 22nd. Sagittarius, your lucky days are February 23rd and February 24th. And Capricorn, your lucky days are February 25th, 26th, and 27th. And here are the lucky days for each sign for March 2023. Pisces, your lucky days are March 2nd, 3rd, 29th, and 30th. Aries, your lucky days are March 4th, 5th, and 31st. Taurus, your lucky days are March 6th, 7th, 8th. Gemini, lucky days in March the 9th and 10th. Cancer, lucky days March 11th, 12th, and 13th. Leo, your lucky days are March 14th and 15th. Virgo's lucky days are the 16th and 17th of March. Libra, your lucky days are March 18th and 19th. Scorpio, get ready for the equinox because your lucky days are March 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Sagittarius, your rewarding days are March 23rd and 24th. Capricorn, your lucky days are March 25th and 26th. And Aquarius, your lucky days are March 1st, 27th, and 28th. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Ascension and Astro Energetic Update for January through March 2023. Remember to subscribe, download, share, and give us a 5-star review. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, blasting you into 2023 with cosmic currents into the quantum field. Da.